For some of you, you've heard me talk about this before. It's still good for you to hear. It's a classic. I write about the law of the zip code in my #1 best-selling book, The Proximity Principle, the proven strategy that will lead to the career you love. And it's baked into the first chapter in the second section of the book, Places. And the first place that I write about, the first of 5 places I write about in the Proximity Principle, is the place where you are. It's the place that most people overlook. They get this idea for a dream, they get excited about it, and they go, oh, I got to move somewhere to go somewhere in my career. That's not true. Now, sometimes you will have to move somewhere. But to get started, no matter what the career is, those first initial steps, whatever that looks like for you, there will always be a season where you need to start, even if it's just mentally and emotionally committing where you are. And so this idea of the law of the zip code, which says everything you need to get started is already around you. It came from the show. And I'll never forget, we were early in the show. A guy calls me from Charlotte, North Carolina, Joe. And he says, Ken, I know exactly what I want to do, but I don't think I can get there. I'm absolutely stuck and I need your help. I said, great. What do you want to do? He said, well, I used to be in movie production, television production, and this is when I was single, and then moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and got a good day job, and got a wife and 3 kids, and taking care of them. But my heart's telling me to get back into TV production, but the problem is it can be, really spotty. I don't want to move to LA or New York. That's not an option. I just don't know what to do. And I said to him in the moment, how many video production companies do you think, or do you know, are in Charlotte, North Carolina, surrounding areas? And he started laughing. He goes, oh, I see what you did there. He goes, probably 25, 30, something like that. I said, yeah. And I said, they're doing everything from political commercials to local commercials to videos for companies, Video production is huge. It's not going anywhere. And video is the future. And so I said to him, you need to use the proximity principle, which says in order to do what you want to do, you got to be around people that are doing it. Those are people in video production, sound, lights, the whole 9 yards. And in places where it's happening. So go volunteer. Say, hey, I got all this video production. I'm looking to get back in, and I know you may not have anything right now, but if I could ever help out on a project or something, I'll be a grip or I'll hold lighting or whatever. And I said, that's what you need to do. And 3 weeks later, we got a call from him. Joe told me, he didn't call back the show, but he emailed in, I think it was, and said, hey, I did exactly what you told me to do, and I've made some great contacts, and I've already been hired. Now, that happened really fast, but that's how the proximity principle works, which says in order to do what you want to do, you got to be around people that are doing what you want to do and in places where it's happening. People plus places, the right people plus the right places equals opportunity. And so the law of the zip code came out of that phone call. I started thinking about it. I was like, this guy thinks he's got to move to LA or New York to do the work he wants to do, and he does it. Now, he could, if he wants to get back in it and he builds a really great reputation. I don't know where that guy is or what he's doing now, but he could have parlayed that Charlotte gig into an LA gig, and so at that point he does move. But for him to get started and getting back in it, everything he needed to get started was already around him. And so that's the law of the zip code. Because what happens is it by nature, when we have this vision for our future, this desired future, this dream job, this meaningful work, well, naturally our eyes are up and we're looking out. I like to use the mountain analogy because it's the easiest one. You're standing at the base of a mountain range or a mountain, you're looking up, and you're kind of viewing this majestic sight in your mind. That's what's happening. And so by nature, our eyes are up and out. And so we're not looking around us. And so then we go, oh gosh, to get up here, I'm going to have to get closer and move over there. And just go, whoa, 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 whoa. If I decide to climb a mountain today, I can look at pictures of the mountain. I can go see the mountain. But at some point, I'm going to have to go back to my garage in my house and get the clothes, the equipment, and everything I need. And so this idea of getting started many times is just as, like stage 2, getting qualified. Well, I can get qualified in my own zip code, and that is a part of the journey. So don't assume you've got to move somewhere to go somewhere. Everything you need to get started is already around you, and you can take those first important, sometimes very small, but very methodical and necessary steps right where you are. That's the law of the zip code. So allow that law to sink in and go, okay, what can I do to get started right where I am? And start today. Now, don't delay. As I taught on yesterday's show, stop deliberating and start doing.